When it comes to cooking meals, drying clothes, heating water, and my home, nothing beats natural gas from CenterPoint Energy. It's my most affordable energy option. It costs less to use than electricity, propane, and heating oil. So if you already have natural gas, keep it. If you're replacing an appliance, choose it. Natural gas, your best choice. Safe and affordable, rest assured.
For more on the benefits of a natural gas home, visit centerpointenergy.com/natural gas benefits. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
Morning.
Just how about an overview of Mississippi State? They look like a team that's going to have some size, and obviously they rebound really, really well.
Yeah, huge, long, athletic, physical team. Really good screening team. Really good rebounding team, both offensively and defensively, led by Smith. Adu, I think, is one of the more underappreciated defenders in college basketball. Really, every year he's got an argument to be amongst the best couple defenders in this league. He's fantastic on the perimeter in ball screen situations, altering and blocking shots at the rim. And they've got three guards that are really playing well, creating their own, creating for their bigs, shooting it well, efficient offense. They're very good.
Mike, how do you take what happened in the last 6 minutes of the game and kind of bottle it up and let it make it travel? Because the energy level and what have you seemed to really be at an uptick for the final minutes of that game.
Yeah, definitely. I thought we played extremely hard, really throughout the 40, especially the last 5 or 6 minutes, as you mentioned, Chris. We watched it, and we'll continue to challenge our guys to be that version, to be our best version. We weren't great yesterday in practice, quite honestly. Hopefully we're a little bit better today. But you've got to play with urgency. You got to play with edge in each of these high-level SEC games just to have a chance, especially as you're without some guys. Everyone's got to step up a little bit, myself included.
What's the availability issues?
Same thing as last game, Chris, with Scotty Lewis and Alex Klatsky. They won't be with us. Mm-hmm.
Graham?
Hey, Coach, appreciate you doing this. How much of an onus does that put on the freshmen and some of the other guys as well to step up without Scotty there again?
Yeah, I thought our bench was pretty good the other day. We didn't play quite as many guys, but the guys that did play, I thought, produced in different ways, and I don't know which guys will play off the bench in Starkville. We've got to continue to develop our bench. Role definition needs to be a little bit more clear with the guys that come off the bench, and I'm not certain again, that 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, who goes out there first, how many minutes that guy will get. We don't know. I mean, we're still in a evaluation process here. We're searching, and it really starts in practice. So a lot of these decisions in terms of first guard off the bench, first big off the bench. Do you play this guy? Do you play that guy? Those decisions will be made tomorrow, pregame, and then foul trouble, of course, may alter those decisions as well.
Speaking of guys who stepped up, Colin Castleton, 3 20-plus point performances in his first 5 SEC games, coming in here already more points than he had before he transferred. First, I guess, was this something that I kind of asked this, but not to boil it down, foresaw was a possibility with him if you gave him an extended opportunity, and were you surprised that he just broke an Odom record in blocks and in an SEC game?
Yeah, a little bit, honestly, Graham. We thought when he signed, he'd be a really good player here. I didn't expect, this production this early, really. Although a month into practice, early fall, we were really pleased at that point, and at that point knew that maybe he was a little bit more ready than we thought. And it just seems like every week that goes by in practice, he's earning more and more respect from his teammates and from his staff. He works. He's got a high focus level. He's competitive. He's consistent with his approach. He'll get out there today and get a little bit better. And he'll continue to have ups and downs in games as he's adjusting, to this many minutes and this level and this role, because it's all new to him. And handling success is a huge factor as well. So hopefully he continues to do that pretty well, with maturity.
Not to point out any possible negative aspect here, but you got a guy like Omar Payne who looked like he was going to, in his sophomore year, be in line to make a huge leap. And based in part in Castleton's emergence, I guess you could say, is playing eight minutes a night right now, or at least the other night. How has he responded to that situation, and what does he have to do to continue to make it so that he can demand more minutes out there on the floor?
Yeah, sure. How has he responded? I would say not perfectly, understandably so, but at times has responded really well. He's had a few days that I know he probably wishes he could get back in terms of the way that he approached a practice or a game. He's in a unique spot, and really the challenge to him is to simply grow every day. Let's continue to develop physically and mentally. And we see Omar as a starter. We just do. With Scotty out right now, I guess we've got 6 guys that have a really strong argument. I think that Omar Payne would be starting for some other teams out there, of course. In fact, he and I talked about this yesterday. But what he's got to do is first of all just be ready. He's got to have a great attitude. He's got to get better today and have that approach every day, and play so well that that he makes an argument to play with 2 bigs at times, and maybe we can do that. Who knows? And obviously, if he gets to the point where he's playing better than Colin, he's gonna play more minutes than Colin. And that's what good teams got to embrace that healthy competition.
Just one more here, real quick for me.
Mm-hmm.
How would you assess how Anthony DeRucci performed the other night? Able to play all 20 minutes there in the second half, but kind of a step down offensively in terms of what we'd seen at least in the first 4 SEC games. What did you see out of him the other night?
He lets it come to him. He had a couple forces, trying to split a couple guys there, driving to his right hand in front of our bench at one point. That one sticks out. But, for the most part, he takes good shots, and so he's there'll be certain nights where he may shoot 12 shots and certain nights where he shoots 5, and it's part of it. He's a good teammate. He's not necessarily hunting. So I like his mentality from that standpoint. A lot to clean up defensively, with offensive execution, with spacing. He's learning, he's developing, but I thought he played really, really hard. Had a great motor, particularly on the offensive glass. The numbers I don't think really showed how active he was. He had 3 or 4 of those basketballs where if he goes with 2 hands, maybe he comes up with a couple of them, and that's something he's got to learn as well. But he's playing really hard.
Jerry, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, going into this weekend, SEC road teams have a winning record, and I wonder in league games, and I wonder what, if anything, that says to you.
Still surprising, even in this crazy COVID climate. I think all of us anticipated road teams having a better chance to steal road wins, but I'm I'm not sure any of us expected it to be to this extent. I think it speaks volumes to fan bases, and decibel levels and home court advantages in a normal climate.
And I wonder too. Sometimes it seems like several times I've seen a team, and I form an impression, and then when I see them in their next game or the next couple of games, I'm thinking, who are these guys? It looks like a totally different team. I'm wondering if you see anything like that and what you make of that.
I would say more so than any other year, and I think that it just has to do with probably roster availability and the unique climate, the unique environment that these young men are experiencing right now. And we talked to our team about this a bunch. The team or teams, late season that are simply the most consistent, whether it's at home, on the road, can deal with the adversities. This guy's not playing, next man up, maturity, continuity. Those are the teams that you're going to have the most success at the end of the day.
Anything else?
Yeah, hey, Coach. The other night, Colin, I don't want to mischaracterize what he said, but he said something to the effect of, with about 6.5 minutes, y'all were trailing by 9, and you kind of went to them about what kind of defense they want to play. I was wondering how often, if I'm not mischaracterizing what he said, how often that kind of thing happens. When you lean on them and say, hey, what's going to work best for you guys?
Sure, he's telling the truth, and that probably wasn't the only time that happened in that game. And it happens a lot of games, Bob. We preach ownership and to not give your guys empowerment. It would be hypocritical. That there's a lot of in-game conversation where, what do you guys think? What can we execute the best with these 5 guys on the court? And we go back out there, how can we get a stop? We want to go match up zone. We want to go 1-3-1. We want to press. We want to go man to man. And it's a challenge at the same time as well. Because these guys are part of the decision. And down the stretch the other day, the 5 that were in the game were adamant about being able to string together some stops in man to man, and they did. They were terrific.
But I was wondering, is it when you go to them with that, is it more of a rhetorical question? Because you expect them to say man, right? I mean, don't you expect that out of them?
I expected it against Ole Miss. I did. It was as much a challenge as anything else. But there's also other times where maybe we're you're playing a high-level offensive team and you're struggling, and maybe you're having a little bit of success with some type of zone or some type of press. And it's there's times where you're actually looking for feedback from your guys as well.
I got you. And then the other thing, after Omar, who are the next 2 guys maybe is there anybody else that's about to hit that button to step into the more playing time?
I wish it was more clear for us, Bob. It would make it a little bit simplified as we prepare. I just don't know after 6, without Scotty, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Today is big. Evaluating these guys over an hour and a half practice, how we prepare at film tonight, at film tomorrow, who's locked in, who's answering questions with preparedness and decisiveness, who's locked in at shoot-around tomorrow. A lot of those factors will play into who that first guard is coming off the bench, whether or not you play this guy or you play that guy. If everyone's playing well, heck, I wouldn't mind playing 10 or 11 guys, but we've got, unfortunately, we have some really inexperienced guys off the bench that haven't had a ton of opportunity and some 30-point blowouts to go play 20 minutes and figure some things out on the fly. That's just the reality of what this team's been through. I like the talent on our bench. I think that these guys can all be very good players. But talent and production's got to meet that talent, and these guys are going to be good in time, and hopefully we can find them opportunities, and these guys can take advantage and continue to develop, and we can become a little bit deeper here over the next couple months.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.